Thanks for dropping in on TNT. Today we're talking about the visa extensions and visa exemptions. No matter how many times I make a video about it, people are still confused. So I'm going to be reading a couple of articles from the media and also from the immigration website to try and make it abundantly clear. Before we do that though, we're going to have a very quick talk about a story about cannabis. Now, in Thailand, somewhere between legal and, we haven't quite made up our mind, is a opaque situation that exists here. One thing is for sure, though, you can't take it back to your home country, like this person. And reported in crimeasia.net, Hong Kong seizes 25 kilograms of cannabis from transit passenger. And sorry about the small print, this is the way it was presented. Hong Kong Customs intercepted a major drug trafficking attempt after seizing approximately 25 kilograms of suspected cannabis buds at Hong Kong International Airport. It was discovered inside the checked baggage of a transit passenger travelling from Bangkok to London. It says officers stopped a 31-year-old male passenger during a customs clearance while he was in transit. Now that's a little bit odd. You wouldn't be going through customs if you were just going through transit from one flight to another. You're not leaving the Hong Kong airport and entering Hong Kong. However, I imagine in this case he went through security again. And it notes the man was immediately arrested at the airport. So I'm sure you all want to know what happens to you if you're caught with 25 kilograms of cannabis in Hong Kong. Convictions can result in a maximum sentence of life imprisonment and a fine of up to 5 million Hong Kong dollars. And then further down there, Hong Kong maintains one of the toughest anti-drug frameworks in Asia, and cannabis, regardless of form, remains classified as a dangerous drug with zero tolerance for possessions, import, export or trafficking. So I just thought I'd pass that on if you're thinking of taking a bit of the green leaf back to your home country. Okay, let's go to immigration now. And for some bizarre reason, there seems to be remaining confusion about what you can and can't do regarding visa exemptions and visa extensions. The visa exempt program is where you can come from 93 countries around the world and arrive in Thailand without having to pre-apply for a visa. You come with your passport and a bag and they'll stamp you in for 60 days. That's the idea. And in the past, you've been able to extend that by going to an immigration office, pay 1,900 baht, and you'll get an extension for 30 days. And you could do that a few times a year. There was never an exact number, but the problem is a lot of people have been abusing that. A lot of criminals have been using that. And a lot of people have been doing border runs, coming back, getting another 60 days, getting another extension. So let's go into the details. And Crime Asia, again saying that Thailand is stepping up efforts to block foreigners, particularly suspected scammers who repeatedly use visa runs to extend their stay under the country's visa-free entry policy, also known as the visa-exempt program. And the Deputy Commissioner of Immigration is quoted as saying that officers will closely question foreigners who attempt a third consecutive entry with back-to-back visa-free stays of up to 90 days each. And then additionally, extra scrutiny will be given to those who've already stayed at least 45 days during their previous visits. So if you're showing a pattern of consecutive visa runs, coming in for 60 days, extending for 30, going out for a day, coming back, doing the same thing again, you're not a tourist. And these are the sort of people they're trying to stop. Well, you must have heard me talking. He said these individuals are not genuine tourists. So what is a genuine tourist? Well, there's no precise definition, but the average tourist coming to Thailand stays between 8 and 12 days. Yes, you can stay for up to 60 days under the visa-exempt program. But if you're staying longer than that, then clearly you're not really a tourist. You're coming to Thailand to stay for a longer time for whatever reason, and the immigration department wants you to apply for a long stay visa. And he said that some visitors had completed as many as 7 consecutive visa runs, accumulating over 200 days in Thailand. And we also know from the available statistics that less than 2% of people coming in on the visa-exempt program stay for more than 30 days, and less than 1% of people coming in on visa exemption stay for more than 60 days. We're talking about a small proportion of people who are abusing the system. Let's go to this article in BangkokPost.com. Immigration police target visitors making multiple visa runs. And it says the immigration police are focusing on blocking foreigners, especially scammers, who do visa runs to extend their stay in Thailand by abusing the government's visa-free entry scheme. And immigration police would carefully question foreigners making a third consecutive visit with repeated back-to-back visa-free requests to stay in the country for up to 90 days each time. And officers would look into those who had stayed at least 45 days during their previous stays. And talking about some of the people using it for nefarious purposes, he said they used the visa-free scheme to avoid official visa requests before travelling, and their data is not included in Thailand's systems controlling occupations and taxation. Yes, immigration officials in Thailand now want to know who's in the country and what their intentions are and how long they're going to stay. And immigration police would deny such visitors repeated entry, and this would enable them to prevent scammers who fled suppression in neighbouring countries relocating their illicit businesses to Thailand. Obviously, there's been a subset of people who have been using the visa exemption for this particular purpose. But he said that the measures were applied fairly to visitors of all nationalities and did not affect real tourists. And he noted genuine tourists stayed in Thailand for an average of 15 days per visit and presented clear information about their accommodation, trips around Thailand and departure dates. Immigration police welcomed real tourists. So okay, let's go to the immigration website and we can see that it's published in all these different languages. Well, that's the intention. It doesn't actually work in all languages on all pages. Anyway, we got this. And it goes through a whole prologue about the problems they've been having and says, therefore, all immigration checkpoints, both airport and border, will implement strict measures to control the entry and exit of foreigners. If a foreigner repeatedly uses visa-free entry more than twice without providing a valid reason, they'll be denied entry, allowing them to apply for a visa that reflects their true purpose. And he noted that since the start of this year, Immigration Bureau has denied entry to about 2,900 foreigners exhibiting such behaviour at airports. Okay, so cutting through the weeds on all this and the slightly ambiguous language, there's nothing in there that says you can only come into Thailand twice a year on visa exemption. If you're squeezing the full 60 days out of your visa exemption, adding an extension, and then just coming straight back and doing it again, then they're the sort of people that they're targeting. They're going to say, get a long-term visa. But if you come for 7 days in February, you come back for another 2 days in April, you come for a month in July, and then you come back to the country, say in December, for another week, that'd be 4 entries on visa exemption, but that's not a problem. If you can show your tickets to come into and out of the country, where you're staying, and tell the officer what your intentions are. I'm visiting my girlfriend. I'm going to visit my relatives in Chiang Mai. I'm going to a convention in Bangkok. Then they're going to go, no problems, in you come. So you can see it's all about your intentions. And if you are going to come to the country more than twice using the visa exemption and you max it out and then keep on applying for extensions or trying to, then they're going to stop you and ask questions. Now, it should be said, if you're coming through a land border, they're not going to allow you extensions on your visa exemption. He's going to the border right now. So if you come across a land border and you stay for the 60 days, they're not going to give you extensions at all. If you fly into the country, they're going to give you your 60 days, 30-day extension allowed the first time you do it. The second time you do it, they'll only give you 7 days. But again, if you are doing this consecutively, they're only going to allow you to come in twice a year. I hope that's clear. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get out the whiteboard and the sock puppets, and I really don't want to be talking about this anymore. However, having said that, I'm still going to get plenty of messages today saying, I saw a YouTube video and the man said, I don't need to hear about it. I'm passing on the information in good faith, and I think what I've told you is exactly what immigration is trying to achieve. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget you can buy me a coffee. We look forward to seeing you next time.